Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight we're going to take a look at something I picked up over in PEI. Amazingly, they still had it. We actually got this in 6-packs over the winter, and I think they had it in Nova Scotia in 6-packs as well. Part of their Brewmasters collection. It is Alexander Keith's Tartan Ale. Alexander Keith's is a brewery owned by Labatt, and oh shoot, there's a parent company of Labatt now as well. Brewery in Halifax, Nova Scotia have been there for a very long time. They've been releasing a series of beers in their Brewmaster Series that come across as being a bit more like higher in quality, more attention paid to the brew, rather than their standard well, for one, their red ale, their their IPA, which is not a real IPA. They've got like a light lager, a dark, it tastes like ashtray water. There's a couple others. I've already reviewed their Brewmaster Series Ambrosia Blonde, which had a description like a Pilsner, but it was anything but. This one is their Tartan Ale, which I've kind of been informed is similar to like a Scotch Ale. It says this Brewmaster's limited release of Tartan Ale was inspired by Scottish heritage of Alexander Keith himself. Yes, he's Scottish. With its warm amber hues and complex aromas, the Scottish-style ale has a full-bodied taste with a slightly smoky finish. We hope you enjoy it on behalf of everyone at Alexander Keith's. Yeah. So this was a winter seasonal. Last fall they came out with Alexander Keith's Harvest Ale, which I can't remember what type of ale that was. Probably like a Marzen or something. This one, Scottish Ale for the winter time, and the Ambrosia Blonde is their new summer one. We had this, and it left stores pretty quickly in New Brunswick. I went over on my vacation a couple weeks ago, and lo and behold, I actually found they had a ton of these cans still sitting over there. So, yoink. Didn't get a chance to try it when it was out, so I managed to score a can, basically. So, without further ado, let's get into the pour of the beer in my new Alexander Keith's Red Amber Ale glass. I'm going to have to review that one at some point, too. I've had it before, but I don't really remember how it tasted. Pour it out here. I don't think I'm going to get it all in this little glass. It's a nice glass, but let's just pour it up to the top. Nice. Boy, that's so nice looking. It's got a nice, like a reddish amber kind of color to it. And that head, look at the head on that thing. That's actually got like it's an off-white, almost like a creamy or tan color. It's more, yeah, that's a more brown color than we might be used to. It's a lot of the color from the beer itself makes its way into the head. That's nice. Yeah, it started with a 2-finger head. It's dying off rather quickly, but it's not like I didn't expect that. Plenty of carbonation in there. See if you can really get a look through the glass itself. You can see the beer being a little fizzy. The head's died off to about halfway, but it's still not too bad. Anyway, let's give it a sniff. There's something like nutty, like caramel smell to it. And it's also a little like woody and smoky. Yeah, you pick up a bit of like smoke to that. They weren't lying. But there's like a nutty caramel smell. It smells almost like it's a red ale. Perhaps a bit more smokier. The smells are faint. Not overly well pronounced, but it's still kind of a pleasing smell, and I'm actually surprised. What doesn't surprise me is the head's almost gone. Maybe I can top it up a little. More beer. Never a bad thing. Like, yeah, it's definitely a bit woody. Let's give it a taste. Mm. Touch of sweetness to the front of the tongue, but it's balanced out by a mild bitterness, and the taste is kind of like a caramel, fruity taste, like almost like orange. It finishes somewhat dry, and it has a nice woody, like a nice smoky finish. Not incredibly smoky or anything. But it's there. It finishes dry and there's no lingering bitterness. Wow. A gentle sweetness is a great complement for the caramel taste. I think one of the things that's really impressing me most though is the mouthfeel. It's kind of like a medium, a little heavier than medium to light, but it's like almost medium kind of mouthfeel too, like the weight of it. Wow, it's damn smooth. That's a nice smooth beer. Nice amounts of carbonation in that. Imagine it would go flat pretty quick. It leaves nice. It doesn't linger, like the bitterness doesn't linger on very long, but the caramel citrus sweetness to it does stick around for a bit. But that's not a bad thing. That's actually really nice. I'm actually thinking I really like that. So yeah, I'm going to sit down with this one for a few minutes and I'll come back with some thoughts. Be right back. And we're back with Alexander Keith's Tartan Ale. So what did I think? I really liked it actually. It's not like a incredibly brilliant beer or anything, but it's most definitely a very serviceable, very smooth, and very drinkable beer. And I imagine that's what Keith was going for. I found it very tolerable, and if this were like regularly available, I would buy this on a regular basis. This is actually really nice. Nice and got a nice malty taste to it. It's not like it's an incredibly mind-blowing beer though. When it comes to being a Scotch ale, it's maybe not quite. I think something like McEwen's or something like Pump House Scotch does a bit better job of being a Scotch ale than this one does. But this one, really nice, and certainly recommended if you happen to find this. Anyway, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, just because I found it really, really drinkable. But you know, it's worth like a 70 out of 100. It's not like it's like an upper echelon world class beer. It's just something that's very serviceable and very drinkable. And personally, I actually hope that Keith comes out with this one again because it was very nice. Maybe you'll add a little bit more wood smoke flavor to it to make it, give it a bit more presentable. But it's still a very fine beer to begin with anyway, and definitely good considering they're a big producer of mass-produced beers. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review, and tune in next time. We got more beer reviews to come. Talk to you later. Bye.